Hey guys, Crazy out here back playing FTB, and this is episode 19. And guess what? I'm back in my biomass facility. This is where I spend most of my time. I'm addicted to biomass right now. I just want to make more biomass. And if you've watched previous episodes, you know I've been trying to increase the amount of biomass going into here, or the amount of things that make biomass. And right now I got wheat mostly and some cacti. And I know some of you guys have been saying use the golden pipes, and I might do that. The thing with the golden pipes is it is going to get the items here faster, but once they get here, it doesn't produce the items faster. The items can only be produced at the speed that they're being produced. So I'm not so sure it's really going to do much in terms of increasing the production of biomass. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think some of you guys know what I'm saying. So anyways, what I got going to make biomass is, of course, my old school wheat farm here. I also got an old school, I don't know if that's the real, I'm just calling it old school because, of course, the new multi-farms have been, added to forestry. So these are the older systems. And this is the tree farm, and I've been grabbing kind of saplings out of here slowly and then just throwing them by hand into my fermenters. And then I got my cactus farm over here. And yeah, that's been fine. I mean, now I got that one fermenter going really good, but I need something that is gonna really help me produce biomass. And that's kind of what I've been working on this week here, guys. And it's taken me a while to build this thing, and hopefully people like it. I don't know, but let's check it out right now. So right here, as you can see, it's a tower of tree farms. And there you have it. That's my tree farm stacker. That's what I'm calling it. Tree farm stacker. And like I said, it's 5 multi-farms running arboretums. So they're running just the default multi-farm setup, which is managed arboretum. And man, this thing produces wood like it's nobody's business. It's absolutely insane. When I got this thing turned on, the amount of stuff that comes down the pipe is ridiculous. And I don't have it hooked up to my biomass facility yet, and that's what I'm going to be doing this episode. And I also need to figure out what I'm going to do with all of the wood. I mean, there's so much wood, but I'll show you guys that in a second. But for now, I'll just show you guys quickly how this thing works. And if you want to know how to build a multi-farm, I kind of made a tutorial in episode 15, I believe. If you check the playlist, you'll see it somewhere there. It's called like multi-farms or something like that. And that will show you how to actually make these multi-farms and how they work. Because I'm not really going to go into major detail of how it works in this episode. But I will show you how I got everything kind of powered. I went with the magmatic engines with a liquid tesseract. Here, just let me pop in here. So I got the liquid tesseract feeding lava into these magmatic engines, and it's coming out of my tank, which I have set up way over there, and it's off right now because I don't want this thing running just yet because it's just producing too many items. I can't keep up. I got 3 chests right now, and I have to keep adding chests because yeah, I have to figure out how I'm gonna get everything set up here. So that's why I turned it off. So I got the magmatic engines sending power through this redstone energy conduit, which is powering all of the tree farms, all 5 of them. And then I got the water pipe, which is hooked up to an aqueous accumulator. Sorry about this, guys. This is probably making you dizzy. So I got an aqueous accumulator here, dropped in some water, and this one's powering the top 4. And then I got another one here that's that's sending water to the bottom tree farm. Why I set it up like that, I don't know. It was just more for, I found it kind of difficult to make it look clean and, have the pipe going under here. So that's why I put one over here and then one over here. And then the third pipe, of course, is the pipe that extracts all of the items from the tree farm. So if I go up to one of the farms here, go to this one, this is where the pipe is coming out from underneath on the hatch here, and that's sucking out all the items and sending them into those chests. And then I got the gearbox, tree farm gearbox, or the farm gearbox for the supply of power to this multi-farm. And then I have the valve, which, you know, sends the water into the tree farm. And this is the biggest multi-farm that you can make. It's the same one as my wheat farms, but of course it's an arboretum, not a wheat farm. And yeah, there you have it, guys. I think this thing looks kind of cool. It's really big. I went with 3 at first. I had 3, and I was going to start the episode with 3, and then I figured, yeah, 3 is enough for me, but this is YouTube, so I want to make it even bigger. And then when I made it 5 high, I was like, oh, let's go even bigger and go 7, but it was getting ridiculous. It was taking me forever to make it, and honestly, if I keep playing Minecraft, I'm pretty sure my girlfriend will leave me, so I just set it up at 5. And yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. It is kind of beastly in the sense that it kind of overpowers everything else in my base. Is I got my little house over there, my little oil tank, you know, and I thought my biomass facility was big, and now no, that thing's not big at all. Look at this thing; it's a beast. But it looks kind of cool with the trees, especially now that I have it turned off. You can see all the trees in there with the green, and I don't know, it kind of looks kind of groovy. But yeah, right now what I want to work on is sending the saplings over to my biomass facility, and the apples. I believe I can squeeze the apples into apple juice and then convert that apple juice into biomass. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm pretty sure I can do that, and that's going to give me even more biomass. But right now what I've been doing is just kind of manually grabbing the saplings from here and then dropping them into the fermenter. And as you can see, these things are filling up like crazy. So what I need to figure out, other than, you know, converting the apple into apple juice and then into biomass, and then of course the saplings into biomass, is the wood. What am I going to do with the wood? The sand I'm just going to send to my recycling facility, and that's that. But the wood, what can I do with the wood? I could build a really huge log cabin skyscraper. I'm just joking, I'm not going to do that. Or what I could do is I could just send the wood straight up into a generator and produce 750 EU. I don't know, I think that's kind of stupid. What I can do, the best option probably is to convert it into charcoal, maybe in some induction furnaces. Now my initial plan was, when I thought of this thing, was to make a massive coke oven farm. That way I could send the wood to the coke ovens, and that will very slowly convert the wood into charcoal, and of course produce a bonus amount of creosote oil, which I could also use for power. And I think I might make a coke oven farm at some point, maybe somewhere, so I can do that, but I don't think I'll ever be able to make enough coke ovens to go through all of this wood. So what I will have to do is, for the extra wood, I'll have to convert into charcoal in induction furnaces. And that should be a pretty good system to produce some EU, where I could just send the charcoal over to a facility that has, let's say, like 10, or like, let's say it has 9 generators, and that will produce some EU. But that's going to be a totally other episode. I don't think I'll be able to squeeze that into this episode. Right now, what I want to do is make a squeezer for the apple juice for the apples, and then send the saplings maybe into this pipe here, and send it into my fermenters, and hopefully start producing a more significant amount of biomass. So anyways, guys, I will see you guys in a second. I'm just gonna get some stuff here and start working on that. Okay, so right before I start working on converting the saplings and apples into biomass, I've decided that I'm gonna bring in some EU into the biomass facility via, you know, my base here. I got a lot of power coming off these windmills up here, and to be honest, I never use them. I got an MFSU in there full of energy, and I also got a bunch of other generators that generate power once in a while. And yeah, I use my electrolyzer and my centrifuge, the centrifuges once in a while, and maybe the industrial blast furnace. But for the most part, I never use up the energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send some of that energy. I've already dug up a little trench here that I'm going to put in some wiring, some glass fiber cabling, and then bring it over into the biomass facility. and probably start using some electric engines in here instead of using the biogas engines that I have going. And that's going to increase the amount of biomass, because that way I'm not wasting biomass in here. I mean, it's not going to be major, but it is going to save a little bit of biomass that will end up going into the tank. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to make some more glass fiber cabling, because I only got 30, and I don't think that's going to be enough for me to get there. So I'm going to blow through some diamonds here a little bit, make myself some glass fiber, set this all up, wire it all up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got some of this done here. I got my MJ power plant here running with 6 electric engines and of course the energy conduits, and I've got the glass fiber going underneath here from the base powering the engines, and then I got the MJ going through this redstone energy conduits, and I've swapped out the biogas engines here and just going straight up with the hookup, the energy conduit hooked up to the fermenters, and I dropped a 3rd fermenter in the middle here, and I got some saplings going into this one, and the one in the middle is not working right now. It's got nothing going in there. And I've run into a little bit of an issue. I was actually confused with the apples. For some reason I thought you could convert the apples into apple juice and then convert that apple juice straight up into biomass, but you can't. You actually use the apple juice to increase the amount of biomass that is being produced by, say, these saplings or whatever you're putting in here, cactus and wheat. So it would increase the output by using the apple juice instead of water. So that's kind of changed my plans a little bit. I'm not sure anymore if I want to do that, because I'm not all that sure that I'll be able to produce enough apples to, you know, keep one of these fermenters full of apple juice, you know, while feeding it saplings or whatever I'm feeding it. So I might make a tank and just store the apple juice, because the apple juice can also be used to power the biogas engines. So maybe down the road I can use the apple juice as a source of power to power those engines. Or again, I could try this setup and have the apple juice just pumped into directly one of these instead of water, and see how that goes. But I'm kind of leaning towards a tank. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the saplings, you know, sent over here and into this thing here, and just have this one automated, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the apples. So I'm just going to get that done right now. I'm probably just going to, you know, have the saplings and the apples for that matter coming through this pipe here, and then I'll sort it once it gets into the biomass facility. So yeah, give me a second to kind of just get that going. And if you guys have some ideas on what I can do with the apples, other than the ideas that I already have, I mean, let me know if there's anything else I can do with them. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on the saplings. So I'll see you guys in a second once I got this kind of set up here, and meet you guys back into the biomass facility. Okay, so I got all the piping hooked up here. I got the piping on the back here with the top 4 tree farms going out here and hooking up to the same pipe that is, you know, that my cactus farm is hooked up to. Then I also got a pipe underneath which is hooked up to just this one farm here, which is shooting all the items out through here and into this main pipe. And I just dropped in a one-way pipe, iron pipe there, and a one-way iron pipe here, just to make sure that all the stuff gets sent this way. And then inside the biomass facility, I haven't done anything just yet, but I am going to go with the tank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a tank probably underground right here. And that's going to store my apple juice. And then over here, I'll probably make an underground system that will have my squeezers that will, you know, basically squeeze the apples into apple juice. And then everything else, I'm going to have to sort out the sand and the wood. And like I said earlier, I'll send the sand over to my sorting facility. And the wood, not so sure yet what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to probably just store it for now, for this episode anyways. And then next episode, figure out how I'm going to convert it into power. So the next step for me is to make this tank and get the, I almost said fermenter, but get the squeezers set up and just start producing some apple juice. So I will see you guys in a second when I have all of that set up. Okay, so I've got the tank set in the floor there, and I've dug myself out a little hole to put my juicer, or my squeezer in to make the apple juice. And I'll show you guys outside here how I have it kind of set up. Same sort of system that I had before, except now I have an area that is just going to be for the apples right here. So everything's going to come down here, and then when the apples hit the diamond pipe, the sorting pipe here, they'll go down the red side over here, and then they'll go outside here underground, and then into that hole that I dug out right here. And that's how it's going to roll. So I'm just going to drop in my squeezer. I'm going to try one squeezer. I built two, but I don't even know how fast these things go because I haven't even tested these things yet. So I'm going to go with one. And that might just be enough. And I already got the power kind of set in here. So I got the, you know, the power plant there. And as you can see, the redstone conduit going underneath here. And it's going underground in between the two tanks and out here. And I believe I got 17. That should be enough. So what I'll do is I'll probably, I'm trying to think how I should do this. I guess doesn't have to look too pretty right now, it just has to work. I can always come in later and fix this up a little bit. So I'm also going to need some liquid ducts right here, which I got 41 of, and hook it up to the tank and hook it up to the juicer, the squeezer, sorry. And just let me pull up my trusty wrench here and make sure that's pointing in the right direction. And I'm going to have to put a lever there somewhere. Do I have any of this? Okay, good. I got this basalt on me, so I'll just drop that right there. Yeah, this is not looking good. This is not looking pretty. I'm gonna have to come in and clean this up for a second. But right now, we just want to see if it works. So we'll just hit the lever there. And then another thing I'm gonna have to do here is I'm gonna drop in a diamond pipe up here. See if I can just kind of, all right, get situated. And this is just going to be a temp setup here. Let's break this off. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, whoops. I'm going to have, oh, this is annoying. Annoying jetpack. What I'm going to do, if I can land on the pipe here, is I'm going to set up a system here. If I can find my stone pipe. So one side over here and one side over here. So one side's gonna have my ender chest, and I should probably do the sorting right now. So I'm gonna have the ender chest, I'm gonna have the sand going into the ender chest, and that's the blue side. So just put one sand there. And then on the red side, I'll just have a temp chest there with the wood. Oops, gonna pick that up. So let me drop in these chests real quick. And this is why I do this off camera, because it's really boring. But what the hell, I'll do it on camera if I can just drop that chest there. Oh, this is gonna be a pain, isn't it? There we go. That's the ender chest. And the gold chest for storing the wood. And like I said, this is just temp. I'm going to have to figure out a different system, especially for the wood. But for now, I'm just going to do this. And I think everything should be working properly. So let's go flick the switch on this massive tree farm. Look at this beast. There's going to be a lot of wood coming down the pipe now because the trees are grown. Alright, so let's turn on the liquid tesseract here and get this bad boy rolling. Now it's going to take a while to start up, so I'm just going to flick it and the lava should start coming in. These things should start turning on. Yep, they are turning on. So we'll just give it a second, guys, to get going, and then I'll be right back. Okay, here come the first apples. Cross your fingers. Hopefully this works. Let's check this out. Okay, something's getting done here. Oh, it's turning it into mulch. That's not what we want. Oh no, it's turning it into apple juice. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, sweet. So it works. And I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. And this is going to be an issue here, this mulch. Gonna have to figure out how to get rid of that stuff. Probably going to have to put... Oh man, this is going to be a little bit of an issue here. So yeah, give me a second, guys. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to have to stick a wood pipe on there and a redstone engine and extract that from the squeezer. So I'll be right back. Alright, problem solved. It wasn't an issue at all. So all I did was I dropped a redstone engine under there and a wood pipe and a stone pipe, and that's sucking out the mulch, which is, you know, producing pretty quickly sometimes, but nonetheless, we are going to use this mulch, of course, because you can use it to make biomass instead of fertilizer. So I got a pipe going right underground here from that squeezer going into this chest, and it's sending all my mulch over here. I already got a stack and some. So I'm going to get tons of that stuff. And the tank is actually filling up pretty quickly. I'm at 71 buckets of apple juice, so I could probably actually replace the water with apple juice. I'm not sure I'm going to do that yet, but I got a valve there. I just have to set up the plumbing. But for now, I'm just going to collect this juice and use it for something at some point. So yeah, this thing's working pretty good. I think one is going to be enough. Right now it's backlogged, but it's got all these slots. I don't think it's ever going to get enough apples. I mean, it's getting a lot of apples now because I had a lot of trees growing at once. And right now all those trees have been chopped down. So it's going to slow down a little bit in terms of apples coming down the pipe. And the saplings haven't come down yet, I don't think. Do I have any saplings coming down yet? Yeah, here comes some saplings. So I should probably set something up for that, because they're just going to go into that one fermenter, and I want them to go into that second one over here. So, oh yeah, they're already coming down here. Let's see if there's anything in there. Why is this not working? Oh wow, this thing is getting backlogged, which probably means, no, I thought, oh yeah, that's because the saplings are in there. Yeah, so let's set up a diamond pipe. We'll put it right, just let this big flow go through here first. So we'll set up a diamond pipe here for the saplings. Do I have any saplings on me? No, I don't. I got to use the exact saplings too, because it's these apple oak saplings, not just a regular oak sapling. So let's pop this off here, drop this in here, And put that over here. And then click on this. What color was that? Red. So we'll put the oak sapling in the red slot, and that should send these saplings over here. I'm going to actually take those out of here right now because that's going to create a backlog. I'm just going to drop that in here. And drop all this stuff in here. There you go. And turn this thing on. And yeah, it should start creating some biomass. So we got even more biomass, which is pretty cool. It's not going to fill this tank up because I'm still creating biofuel at that biofuel facility. Still got to fill up that tank, which we can actually check out right now. Take a look. See how that thing's doing. Okay, good stuff. 772 buckets of biofuel. The MFSUs down there are full of energy, and I'm slowly filling this tank, which is good, which means my biomass tank will fill up after this thing is filled up. And got a lot of power in the MFSUs down there, and I got some MFSUs over here that are full, so I'm going to have to start thinking about fooling around with the UU matter at some point here. Start using up this juice. I'm also going to have to break this apart here. I don't really need this stuff anymore now that I got that liquid tesseract. And yeah, hopefully you guys aren't too annoyed with my obsession with biomass. Because it is an obsession right now. I've been neglecting all the other mods. Thaumcraft, bees, and all that. But I'll get into it at some point. And forestry has been fun as well. As you can see, there is my tree farm. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this episode. Thanks for the comments, suggestions, all the support. It's been awesome. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.